When you're working with layers, sometimes the amount of layers that you have can really stack up. Now in this case, the background that I was designing, I created it using 3 different layers just to get the right design that I wanted. In fact, 4 if you count this island on top. I don't want to have too many layers, so I'd like to merge these layers together. So in order to merge layers, there are a couple of different ways that you can do it. One is you can just select the layers that you want to merge. To select multiple layers, you can click on one layer, press down the Shift key, and click on the last of the layers until they're all selected. And once you have your layers selected, you can right-click on those layers, and then you get this bunch of choices here where you can merge selected layers, or another choice to merge layers. So if I just select Merge Selected Layers, it just simply in one step takes all those different layers and puts them all in one. So I'm going to press Undo until I get all my layers back. And now I will show you how I can merge layers a different way. This way I don't have to pick my layers in advance. I can just right-click on any one of the layers and it says Merge Layers ... I press on that, it gives me a lot more choices than I have. In this case, I can name the layer right here, call it background. I could choose whether I want the merged layer to be either a vector layer or a bitmap layer. In this case, I'll keep it vector layer. And I also have all of these layers to choose from. Now, right now they're all pre-selected. They're all that gray color, so you can see that they're all selected by default. So you can easily merge all of your layers very quickly if you want to do that. But if you want to pick out specific layers, then just click on them. In this case, I want to deselect them all, and then click on Island to select it, BG2, and Clouds, and maybe I won't delete Sky for right now, or I won't merge Sky, I should say. Now here's the choice here, delete source layers, or uncheck it to not delete source layers. So I'll show you the difference. If I merge these 3 and I have delete source layers, I'm going to click OK, and it has merged those 3 layers into one, but it left the sky alone because I want the sky to be separate. All right, I'm going to press undo and show you what it looks like if I do the same thing, but now I don't delete the source layers. All right, so now everything is selected. I'm going to deselect everything. I'm going to go and select Island, BG2, and Clouds, and I'm going to uncheck delete source layers and press OK. And when I do, I get a new merged layer, but all my old layers are still there in case I want to turn them off and just keep them around for safekeeping. Well, now I have some of these extra layers and I've made them invisible, and now that I have, I can show you another feature about merged layers. I can, in this case, I want to merge BG1 and Sky, and so I'm going to select BG1 and then press Shift and select Sky, and if I right click and hit Merge Selected Layers, it's going to merge these selected layers, but because I don't really have any other choices, because I chose the shortcut method, it didn't do anything about my invisible layers. So I'm going to press undo, and now I'm going to go for the more advanced way of merging layers. In this case, I'll try something different. I'm going to click on the first layer, press Shift, click on the last layer of the ones I want to merge. I will right click and go to Merge Layers ... which is the one that gives me many more options. And now that I've pre-selected these layers, you'll notice when the dialog box opens that these layers are also pre-selected in here. So once again, I have the choice to rename to make it a vector or a bitmap layer. But here's the best part, is I can delete the source layers if I want to, but I can also remove the invisible layers. So that way it'll help to clean up my extra layers also. So I'm going to press OK on that and watch how 5 layers will now be merged into one layer, and the invisible layers that were included were also merged. So then I really cleaned things up quite a bit. There's also something to consider when you're merging a bitmap layer with a vector layer. The difference between bitmap layers and vector layers we covered quite a bit in the layers chapters, so you can check those out to get a refresher. But in any case, when you're merging a bitmap layer and a vector layer together, by default, a bitmap layer plus a vector layer, when merged together, will automatically merge into a bitmap layer. So when I select the layers and click Merge Selected Layers, it tells you that the merged layer will be a bitmap layer. This will pop up every time as a warning unless you click on that button. So watch what happens as I press OK, and that merged layer is now a bitmap layer, as you can see from the bitmap layer icon there. So I'm going to press Undo, and if you don't want that behavior to happen, you can go through the same process selecting the layers, but this time go to Merge Layers ... and now you have the choice of turning these two layers into a vector layer. And now I'll just call it BG Vector. You can call it whatever you want to. The point is that I'm choosing to make it a vector layer when I merge. And once again, I have those options down here. In this case, I don't want to delete the source layers, just by way of demonstration. I'm going to press OK, and now my merged layer is a vector layer, as you can see from the icon there. And if I turn off these other layers, you can see that all of this is now a vector layer. So we've seen that if you merge a vector layer and a bitmap layer, by default it's going to become a bitmap layer. But if you merge a vector layer with another vector layer, as I'm going to do here by right-clicking and go to Merge Selected Layers, it will merge them into a single vector layer, as it did right here. So now my pirate and my bird are on the same layer because I merged them. And just to demonstrate, I'm going to turn off my vector bird. I'm going to bring on my bitmap bird, and I have a bitmap background here. So now I'm going to merge a bitmap layer with another bitmap layer, and when I merge two bitmap layers together, by default, go to Merge Selected Layers, and it will automatically create another bitmap layer. So vector layer merged with vector layer creates a vector layer, bitmap layer merged with bitmap layer creates a bitmap layer, and a vector layer combined or merged with a bitmap layer when combined or merged will result in a bitmap layer, unless, again, you use the option with more options, which is to select Merge Layers ... where you actually have the choice then of combining a vector or a bitmap.